Hi folks, this is another example of a runner we took a look at, actually one of our therapists, Andrea, who's a pretty avid runner. And we just wanted to point out a couple things that we noticed in Andrea's mechanics that we were going to work on. So I'll let the video start to run. And the first thing we looked at was Andrea's, again, foot impact. And this is a good example of Andrea tends to land on her forefoot, which is excellent. That's what we want to see, not landing on the heel. So you can see here we have a good, good forefoot impact. That line is certainly in front of our center of gravity a little bit. But what was interesting when we really looked at Andrea's, that's something I think a lot of us do as runners too, is when we look at that knee extension angle, how straight is that knee when she's running? So Andrea here almost fully extends the knee when she's running. And when that becomes a problem is, it creates a lot of torque on the knee and a lot of impact and wear and tear over time. So most people you see with this stride end up being heel strikers. But actually, Andrea does a good job of still being able to manage to hit with the forefoot there. So the question becomes, if we're getting that much extension, which is more than normal, but Andrea is still able to strike on her forefoot, where's the problem coming from? And then an interesting thing we took a look at was what we call the vertical displacement here. So if we draw a line straight across the top, oh, lost the video there, let's get that back. So if we draw a line straight across the top here of Andrea's head, what we notice is when she's running, if we look at the amount of vertical displacement, she's going well above that line. So what we're noticing is during this point of Andrea's gait, she's actually doing a lot of push off here. So she's actually pushing herself up so that she has plenty of time to get that leg forward and then still get under her. What that creates a problem with is two things. One is, the main thing is efficiency. If Andrea's pushing up every time, that's a lot of movement upwards. With running, we want to be as efficient as possible, so we want to stay pretty level so that the energy we're using is being used to propel us forward and not upwards. So that's one thing we could take a look at, and the way we would fix that is by taking a look at Andrea's cadence. So when we took a look at Andrea's cadence, where we talked about in previous videos, we want between 180 to 190 steps per minute. Over this 20-second video, we were able to find that Andrea was taking about 162 steps per minute, which means she's spending a lot of time in the air and spending a lot of time pushing herself forward, which is just what she'll find over time, a less efficient way for her to be running. So if we can change that, speed up the turnover a little bit, it's going to take pressure off of that knee, off of that hip, and then make her overall a much more efficient runner and make it much easier for her to run healthy for a long period of time. Also, what we'll see is she'll get a lot faster as well, because there's not this what we call stale or dead time that she's spending in the air. All that energy is being used to push her forward, so it'll really increase her pace over time.